So if I can call to order the Monday, August 21st, Town of Rome Utility Committee meeting. If I could do a roll call starting on my left.
Capel here.
Loker, Stoyl here.
And again, I'm not a committee member, but we'll just chair the meeting to follow through on our agenda. So item number 3 is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Robbie, could you certify the posting of the meeting, please?
Yes, I can. I emailed the town support on August 17th, 2023 at 10:41 a.m. I emailed Rapids Tribune August 17th, 2023 at 10:42 a.m. I posted at the town hall on August 17th, 2023 at 2:08 p.m. At Quick Trip, August 17th at 2:05 p.m. and at Nakusaport Edward State Bank, August 17th at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Item number 5 is approval of the agenda.
So moved. Seconded. You're talking previous agenda.
This agenda.
Oh, this agenda.
Still good? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be previous minutes, not agenda.
Yep. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. Citizen comments, were there any comment cards received?
No.
Okay, so we'll dispense with the reading of number 6. So no action contemplated except possible referral to a future agenda. Item number 7 is information updates, meeting recaps, recent correspondence, and current events. Anyone have any items to share? Bill?
I would just encourage each of our members to watch the park board meeting this last week. It's being replayed. It says 4 o'clock, but when I tuned in at 4 o'clock, it was half over. But if you tune in during the day at 4 o'clock on channel 300 and just watch and see what happens. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. I have some questions later on.
That's what day?
It's
Daily.
on every day.
Oh, daily?
At,
Does that play on YouTube too?
I'm sorry?
It's on YouTube too.
No, apologize. It'll be on the live feed.
It'll
So
be on
you
the
could
live
do the
feed.
live feed off the website.
And it's daily at what time did you?
If you catch it, it says 4 o'clock, it starts, but when you tune in at 4, it's halfway through the meeting. But the part that I want you to see is at the end of the meeting anyway, so
Okay.
you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Give us a hint of what,
Yes, there's an impact to the water utility. That's why I'm asking you to watch it.
okay.
The only other informational update that I would share is the town board did approve the contract with Allen Steel for the expansion of the Timberline Parkway water main to 13th Avenue. Those agreements have now been signed. I'll provide a copy of the signed agreement to Robbie for the water utility, because I'm sure there'll be some coordination that they'll need with Allen Steel when they come to town to put that water main in.
Are they planning on doing that this fall yet?
Yes.
Okay.
General Engineering did that bidding process for us and also the drafting of the
Right.
agreements, so that was all handled through engineering firm. Anything else anyone wanted to share?
What's the distance of that extension? About.
Just under a mile? Or
It was
just
right around a mile
Yep.
for the expansion.
Timberline?
Yeah.
Yep.
All the way? A mile?
Yeah, because it's just at Trade Show Logistics, so it would have to go the rest of the way to 13,
All
and
the way
there's
to 13th
240s in
Avenue.
there.
Going
Yep.
all the way to 13?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though there's no
Road?
road there yet.
Okay.
But there's a plot for the road. so-
Right.
Discussion and possible action on the following items. Item number 8, discussion and action approval of the July 10th, 2023 meeting minutes.
I'll move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Item number 9 is discussion only. Review of July 2023 water utility financials. Robbie?
Are there any questions? Go ahead, Bill.
Sorry, I just looked at it this morning.
That's okay.
Under public fire protection, we're down like almost, 30,000 from last year? Little less than that. For fire protection, is there a reason for that?
It's, when it comes to fire protection, it's who decides to pay us
Okay, and when?
and when. So we now will tax roll, in October. We get
Okay,
a lot
and
of-
that catches it up at the end?
That catches it up.
Okay,
It does.
so it's non-payment of the fire protection, but we do put it on their tax roll
We
if
do
they
roll
don't.
it into their tax bill if
And
they
we
do
do
not pay.
collect it for this year? Okay.
Correct.
And then a second question on the contract work, was that for the battery charger?
Yes.
Okay. That's it.
Robbie, question, in looking at 2023 to 2022, second commercial and public authority sales, why the disparity on the year-to-date? From, is that something that's seasonal or whatever, you know what I'm getting at?
Let me look into that. I don't wanna say it outside of it, but let me get back to you on that.
Okay. In the same little bit of question that was just looking at transportation expense, a little bit of disparity between previous and current year. And I just need enlightening too, as if they're a seasonal, they sit static and then all of a sudden, bam, a payment comes or something.
Well, the transportation expense last year, we had a lot of repairs done to the vehicles. And so we had additional charges in last year. This year, it's been quiet.
Static, okay. And then cross connections, where am I looking? 1,500 year-to-date, but nothing last year?
Correct. We didn't have to do any cross connections last year. So we had to do the 3 businesses, Slice of Heaven, Quick Trip, and Papa Bear's. They had to have their cross inspections this year. We did that in June.
Okay. And another, then on my last question of notes, and my not knowledge of, what is payment in lieu segment?
I'll let Jamie describe that one for you.
Payment in lieu is it's payment in lieu of tax, and that's paid to the town. So annually, based on their budget, the auditor provides what that payment in lieu is, and it fluctuates between $125,000 to $135,000. I think this year it's about $125,000
It corresponds to what would be their property tax,
Yes.
roughly?
roughly.
Yep.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions on financials? Very good. Then we will move to item number 10, which is discussion only, water utility update. Robbie?
I did supply the report for July. In that report, Chad was contracted as our operator in charge. During the month of July, we met with him once. We had no issues. He did send in our monthly reports to the DNR. As of August 7th, he is no longer the operator in charge. Cody
That answers that question.
Cody Noblock has been named as the operator in charge for water utility. Cody and Joe both successfully completed their testing, and then we made the decision to go forward with Cody as the operator in charge. We did have our generator maintenance, and we had the battery charger replaced. And we did recently, actually this morning, I met with Adams Columbia Electric. We wanted to discuss our bills, to see if there was anything we could do to trim them, get a better rate. in discussing our main bill with well 3 and 4, there really isn't wiggle room there. But well 2, which has been abandoned, has 4 transformers on it that we're paying for, and we've been paying for peak time and off-peak time for years that we shouldn't have been. So we have the ability to have those removed. We have to wire or take the wires from the one building to the other building, connect them, and then we can go on one billing charge there. And Mark from Adams Club, he was really helpful and very, gave us complete direction on what we need to do. But we should save a good $2,400 to $3,000 a year
Wow.
that we've been paying.
How much?
Were,
$2,400 to $3,000 a year.
were the transformers there because of the pumpage that would have had to
Yes.
occur?
For the three-phase.
And there's no, do we still do testing out of that well, and is that,
No, it's
She
completely
said it was
abandoned.
abandoned.
Okay.
so-
And
Completely abandoned,
okay.
yeah.
We did have to do testing out of it for some time frame though afterwards, didn't we? I mean,
They did 4 years ago when it was officially abandoned.
okay,
So yeah, they were testing for whatever, no leakages and everything into the, ground and all that, but now it is completely abandoned, so we do not.
have to do that any further.
Right. Yeah, so,
And it sounded like you have there's 2 electric services to 2 buildings there, and you're just gonna combine one
we're
service.
gonna combine them
in.
into one service, yep.
Okay. Did ACC allude to any amount of time they can get that taken care of if they're retiring their transformer bank and da-da-da-da?
They said that cause we apparently own those transformers, we can sell them, so we could get some revenue out of this, that's what Mark said.
So if they would be indicated as surplus property, that just has to come to town board with what a minimum bid would be, and then I would think maybe that's something that could also be listed on Wisconsin surplus with other equipment.
Just like
So-
we did the van, or
Yeah.
the truck.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Yep. Absolutely.
So they explained we own the transformer bank? Can you tell me what side of the meter the transformer bank is on? And, well, it'd have to be on the,
It'd be on our side, correct? Yeah, right?
okay, we have enough service going through the meter that needs a transformer bank on our side, or the service side?
Well, when they had the pump in there, they probably did.
It could be, I don't
Yeah.
know, I mean, I know enough to be dangerous.
Well, if we own it, it's gotta be on our side.
Our side, that's what I'm thinking.
It's gotta be on our side of the meter, I'm just wondering, like, a 3-phase service through, on,
Well, pump.
yeah. No, but on a 3-phase service, I would think transformer would be on the other side of the meter for metering, rather than the transformer on the, you follow me or not?
Yeah, no, I understand if it was their transformers.
Right,
But since they're ours,
ours,
it's gotta be after the meter.
and my thinking only is that an untransformed, lack of a better term,
Yeah.
current could be metered well. You know what I'm getting at now? Being on ours, yeah.
Our
But
side.
anyway,
Yeah, the losses through the transformer we're
Yep.
paying for.
yep. And could change the metering charge too.
Well, we're gonna do away with that service, so.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll combine it down to a standard
No.
residential service.
It's standard, right. No, but I meant could be a savings on metering charges, because usually 3-phase metering charges are higher, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's what Robbie said though, is we're gonna do away with time of day and on
On
peak,
to-
off
Yeah,
peak.
and
All of that would
that's
be-
all the metering usage charge you're referring to. Okay,
Correct.
got it.
Cause we still use that building that's
Yes,
out
we do.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of storage in that building.
It's
Where
their
is
shop.
2? Can you enlighten me again?
Somerset, 302 Somerset. So off of Penhurst.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And is there any, I'm asking about the property value, if it's abandoned that for removing and that, and selling the property, is there any kind of,
There's discussion about eventually maybe selling that property and moving that shop to where our offices are.
okay,
That's in,
just,
down the road.
We did get approval through electors I couldn't tell you how many years ago, but several years ago, that if we did want to sell that property, we do have approval from the electors to move forward, but it has been useful for storage because of the building that's out there. So we have kept it. I think it's either right at 2 or just under 2 acres, I thought.
Yes.
Robbie, do we have an estimate of what it's gonna cost to run the wire, to hire an electrician to?
We do not, so, I've asked Cody and Joe to contact electricians. They believe they could get the wire there, they just can't connect it.
Make the connection.
Right, so that's what we need the electrician for.
Yeah, they gotta put a panel in and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Or run it to the existing
Run it to the
panel.
existing panel, yes.
Okay.
Has there been any investigation into our costs for the retirement of our transformer bank?
Not yet,
Okay.
but we'll work on it. We just found this all out like a half hour ago, so I need a little
on
more
it.
time.
Okay,
A
yeah,
little more
that's right,
time.
it was a half hour ago, yep.
Good job.
Thank you. We're trying.
Do you also just want to share this week, Thursday?
This week, oh yes, this week Thursday, Cody, I, and Joe will be attending, Wisconsin Rural Water Association's, Expo Conference up in Plover. It's an annual thing that we do attend. We get to meet, they have several classes, that we can attend throughout the day. The vendors are there, so we'll be talking with them, introducing ourselves, making sure they know
Good
we're in
day,
charge now.
good day, it'll be air conditioned in there.
Is the
Supposed to be
town
100.
a member of Wisconsin Rural Water, or are
Rural
you
Water
as
Utilities.
individuals?
Rural Water Utility is a member.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, so we have a utility membership.
And by attending this conference, the operators
Get
gain
CEUs.
their credits and everything,
Right.
correct?
So the water utility office will be closed for a period of time on Thursday because of that, but we'll post that on our Facebook page, and people could still use the Dropbox or give a call and get a,
Yep.
yeah.
We'll be checking messages too.
Anything else under water utility update? Very good. Item number 11 is discussion and possible action, Utilities Committee Goal Matrix. I did distribute an updated matrix based on the conversation at our
Yeah.
last meeting.
May I pick up?
Sure.
Can I ask a question about the backside of this?
Yep.
The pie chart's kinda nice, but especially like in this case, if it's printed,
It's not color coded.
you can't figure out any, could the quantities just be in parentheses behind the bullet?
Absolutely, absolutely.
We-
You get a feel, 233 locates,
Yep,
kinda average
it's very average, yep,
for this time of year.
for this time of year.
And my
Well,
question,
that's year to date, so that's year to date.
oh, that's you, oh, year
Yeah,
to
not
date.
just this past month.
Okay, that's year to date. How do you get them electronically? to
Electronically
fax?
through an email.
Through an email,
Yep.
okay. Sorry, Bill.
Robbie,
Just
would
to-
it be easier to take this information and spread it on like a line chart or bar
want
chart
us-
for each month? So you can
That's fine.
see the changes? This, great data, I'm glad you're using charts, but we can't tell if there's any seasonal variation or whatever. Some of these like, turn off water for campers and stuff, there's not very much of that in July.
Nope.
But probably October, November is big.
Yeah, you'll see
And
it.
then April, May, turn them back on would be big, so we'd get a better idea of what the workload looks
Okay.
like.
Absolutely.
Another, sorry, Bill.
That's all right. Another
question, on these and just, for, like, could, like, the house items be together, the camper items, or instead of the house here and then down?
Got it. Yep, I follow you. Yep.
Are they tracked in the system slightly different, where it could get broken out different?
I bring that back together.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
How do we get leak detection?
So leaked, we have
We listen really, okay.
we have a software program called Beacon, and it monitors anybody who is on a meter, and
The
we
whole,
are able,
so the
the
whole,
whole system.
everything that's
long as you're on a
everything is being
meter.
monitored, and if
Yep.
there's an average,
If anything
up.
over 10 gallons, we call out,
Okay.
we reach, if we can't get a hold of the resident, we go there and we look around the house, we walk around it, we'll shut hoses off, you name it.
okay. What about our own lines,
Our
our own pipes?
For service stubs in Maine,
Do we have leak detection on our lines? So we
What
wait,
happens there is every time an operator goes out to do a turn on or a turn off, they're listening. They're using our listening devices to
Right.
look into the mains and all that to see if we're
Okay.
hearing anything.
so it's on almost a complaint site basis, only it's by leak.
Mhm.
Then we listen to make sure that's not our line as well.
Correct.
Okay,
We have had the conversation with the DNR about doing some additional leak protection pieces. We're just not quite there yet on
And before Chad left, Annie, who's with Wisconsin Rural Water Association, she has offered to come out and help us with leak detections on the mains and everything. We just haven't gotten that scheduled as of yet.
And certainly, we've had leak detection that have been issues, broken pipes, but,
well, that's,
ours,
our pipe, if our pipes
No.
burst, there's a leak. and
Yeah,
we'll
in
kn- But you'll
homes.
know about it, I'm assuming.
We would know about it,
Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes it's just toilets, or sometimes people sprinkle when they leave,
And they leave it on.
Turn it
or
off.
they have the hose, the outdoor hose spigot that's, that has a leak. I mean, not all leaks are,
Not our pipes, right.
No,
I-
or
I figured
The
that.
majority of our leaks
Are-
are
are
toilets
mostly-
and hose spigots.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly it.
and so just enlightenment, and when you make that contact, if you can't get, you guys shut off the service then?
We do shut off at the road. If it's leaking, then we'll shut it off, leave a note on the door, our card, and then we leave messages on their phones, and they just call us and we'll come turn them back on. But yes.
Makes sense.
additional questions on the water utility update? Okay. So then returning back to item number 11, discussion and possible action, Utilities Committee Goal Matrix. I did distribute just an updated based on our conversation at the last meeting, so those goals were removed that we felt weren't necessary, and some purpose statements were added for those 3 goals. I do see a minor correction since we deleted 2A, the 2B is still located there, so I will make 2B 2A,
Or not to be?
or not 2B.
Jamie, can you add a goal 3? Fill out the number of board members that we have.
Oh. Complete the board,
Yeah,
or
complete the board.
committee.
And have maybe action steps is advertise and let the board know on a monthly basis how many times we've advertised, how many we have, and maybe then a review of how to help you find more people.
Yep, and number 1 is, like I had mentioned at the previous meeting, a personal ask. I mean, if you know people, a personal ask is really what's,
And both, we have 2 vacancies, correct?
yes, and they both have to be.
Both have to be
on
water
utility.
users,
Yep.
Water users.
yeah. So you'd have to
Camelot,
recruit from the
basically.
Camelot area,
Yeah.
basically.
But yes, I can add that number 3.
And with the solar farm, that's sort of a utility that's really not our business, but I don't know enough about the company that's trying to put it in. Is this their only one, or whatever?
I can answer that. I've done a lot of research,
Okay,
just to edify you. NextEra is the #1 solar generating company in the United States.
okay. So-
And they are a connection, they have a connection with Florida Power and Light. And, I don't know, they're traded on the stock exchange, they're doing very well.
Okay, so we don't, solar farms only last so long.
Right,
And my concern is if it reaches end of life, do we have any way to make sure that they don't say, well, we're throwing throwing this out, that's all yours, the town of Rome, that you gotta clean it up.
that is one of the items that could be considered for a joint developers agreement. And that's why it's important that we keep a positive spin on this so that we get a joint developers agreement for the town. It's exactly for that reason.
You got that, and, is it gonna, right now, it's really, the town's nice, and we put a lot of effort into keeping it neat and clean, and not to let things come in that's gonna ruin the town, and I'm just, the aesthetics.
I can tell you as one board member, that's one of the things I'm watching
Yeah.
and have an interest in making sure happens.
I don't want to speak on behalf of the board, but if Supervisor Keppel agrees, I think that additional conversation about the solar array would be held within the town board, and that there would be additional public meetings that would be held and advertised through the town
Right,
board.
and I guess right now, we're looking probably in October, and I would suggest that, once I know of a date, I'll be sure to inform all the members.
Well, thank you. It's, I'm.
Since I know that you're interested, I have no problem doing that.
Yeah, I see all the signs prevent it, and I wanna know what the real story is, okay? And I can understand why people don't want the solar farm in their backyard.
It's a NIMBY thing,
Yeah.
But we can make sure that Robbie has that information.
Right.
Obviously, and then that can get emailed out to the committee. Yes.
And the next one would be to do something to do away with that payment in lieu of taxes. Since the town owns the water utility, why is the water utility paying taxes back to the town?
that's, how do I explain that? It's an accounting principle, for one thing, under generalized government accounting principles. GASB? I don't know, I forget what the acronym stands for, but it is an accounting process where, because a utility can't be taxed by the town, that you make up the lost revenue by a payment in lieu of taxes. It's actually required, if I'm not mistaken.
It's really probably the most appropriate question for Nick. I know that he's done
Yeah.
a series of research on it, and a series of research has been done on it through time with the water utility in the town. So not to
I know
not to
that,
answer the question with a question, if we wanted to bring back up that research, we certainly can, but
Well, the question is, does the Tri-Lakes pay payment in lieu of taxes on their property? Does the fire department with their building,
they pay
they pay
taxes.
taxes.
they pay taxes?
And the
Yeah.
fire department is
Is town property,
is part of our overall town property.
but Tri-Lakes is taxed.
Okay, but the utility is part of the town property all now.
But the utility cannot be taxed.
They can't be
That's the
taxed.
problem. That's why.
Well, we don't tax the fire department because they're part of the town.
Again, if there's an interest in bringing back that research, we certainly can do that at a future meeting.
It's a good question. I'll have to do I'll do some research.
Yeah, I would,
I know there's a reason for it, because all the
Well-
water utilities I've ever been in touch with have
And I
paid they make a payment in lieu of taxes, but
I think some of that also is the fire department doesn't charge for their service, where the water utility charges for the service. It's a
self-contained entity, and it has to recover all its costs.
The utility, water.
The utility. It stands alone. It's part of the town, but yet it's not part of the town. Because the water utility has to go to the PSC in order to do any kind of a rate increase. The town can't decide, we want to increase our rates.
Well,
So
I just,
it's regulated by the PSC as opposed to the town.
We don't, we don't on a regular basis use the term here, but essentially an enterprise fund. It's a business inside of the municipality.
Jim, you mentioned, on fire calls here, there are not charges to the address by the fire department?
No, not unless there would be a reason in which a charge would need to be occurred, like negligence. But otherwise,
Okay.
there's,
Arson or whatever, something like that.
there's
yeah.
not a, if you call the fire department, there's not a, you do not receive a bill.
Like a fire in a fireplace got out of control, they don't charge for that.
Okay. I thought there were. And, because the insurance
There-
is
there
sometimes
is
will
this-
and won't cover it and da-da-da.
yeah, but you know, it's 120-some thousand out of 700,000 total expenses. So it's a significant cost to the utility.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to understand that.
Again, we can, I know substantial research has been done in the past, we can bring that back
On calls and charges?
on payment in lieu.
Oh, payment in lieu, okay. All right.
Okay, anything else on the goals matrix? We'll add that additional third item and maybe just bring that back to the next meeting. Okay,
Related to that, though, I got a question. We got a goal statement. Do other committees or boards also have so-called mission statements or guidelines?
they have goals, right? Like CDA has an annual, a goals piece. The town board would have essentially our the strategic plan. There isn't necessarily separate mission statements because we have the town mission statement.
Okay. Or guidelines for what, and I guess my question is, because different times that we talk about numerous things here, well, we just talk about that, we don't vote on it. Are there, okay, where do we fit in the box as this committee?
Yeah, so I would just, that's really set in our ordinance on what are the parameters of the utilities committee, yes.
And is,
It
That
stands
in
as,
paper
it
somewhere?
stands as an advisory group to the board. It's under the town code,
okay,
under town code, water utility,
okay,
or commissions. It's under boards and commissions.
operative word advisory.
Yes.
And I can print that for you before you go.
Because I had to look it up too, Dave.
Okay.
Is there something special that the town or the committee's chairman has more authority, less authority than the rest of us? And any special duties that they have? I know they can only vote just like we can, but are there special duties?
I don't want to take away Jamie's thunder, but they would be responsible for setting up the agenda, right? The town chair.
We're talking solely of the town chair, not
No,
of committee
Oh,
chairs.
the board chair.
No,
The committee chair.
committee chairs, yes, the additional responsibility would be, usually staff put together the agenda and send to the committee chair for a review, unless the committee chair has said we're comfortable with next agenda items and you can proceed.
And then otherwise, other than chairing the meetings.
Chairing the meetings, and then, in the past, the chairs, they get sent that draft agenda and the minutes from the previous meeting, just as this is about to go out. Is there any review that you'd like to see? Okay. Let's go back to my agenda. Then moving on to item number 12, discussion of possible action, 2023 projected year-end budget and 2024 budget for Rome Water Utility. Robbie?
So I am working on the projections right now. I don't know when you're requesting them to be.
31st.
I can get them. So I am working on my projections. I'll have those to Jamie by the end of the week. And then I will be working on my budget, so I should have something to present in our next meeting.
Yep, we're just getting started right now. There hasn't, the Town board will have their first budget meeting, I believe, September 14th. So we haven't determined a cost of living increase, and we haven't gotten final numbers for insurance. Those are two big personnel items. Open enrollment is not until the end of September, so we'll get the information directly before open enrollment. We do expect there to be changes. There always is every year, but
Can you explain open enrollment to me?
open enrollment is just for insurance. That's where you could make changes to your healthcare selections during open enrollment,
Oh, just like Medicare.
just like Medicare.
Okay, duh.
Yeah. But that's in our projections for the year, if people would, because they have other coverages and or start up, that changes those costs. Any other questions about budget at this time? Then we will, once we have a conversation back with the committee, then a timeframe will be slotted in one of the 4 town board meetings, for it to be presented to town board. Okay. Hearing no other questions on item number 12, dates and items for future agendas, meetings. Next agenda items.
Can I, before we get to that, I apologize. Do you have any information update on the gas expansions?
I don't have anything new since our last meeting. I know that they're mobilizing out on the site and getting the lines starting to put into the ground
I see the stock
Yeah.
out at the dump.
at the
or to
transfer site.
Transfer site.
Recycling center.
And the town's still breaking even on that?
The first project, yes. The second project, we did forward that payment that we had discussed at the last meeting to them. So we would have 5 years to recoup that cost. So on the Apache Avenue project, there would still be the cost and the potential refund over the next 5 years. Any other? Yes?
Next agenda,
Next agenda?
wells at the Rome Town Center.
Wells, what?
Wells.
The wells at the Rome Town Center. That was also a discussion item at town board, so we'll be bringing back some informational pieces at town board too, so we can coordinate on that item.
There are wells at the Rome Town Center?
There are 3.
3.
Used to be 2.
Who owns the wells?
We own the wells,
We own the wells?
yes.
Well as in a pump well, or are you talking individual lot well?
We can't go any further today. It's an
Yeah.
agenda item for next time.
Okay.
Any other agenda item requests for next time? Otherwise, I would think the agenda would look pretty similar to how it did today.
It's on the next town board agenda as well, so it will be discussed prior to this meeting.
So we'll have data at the next meeting or whatever. We'll have information about it at the next
Yes.
meeting.
How can people put wells in town? How did we put wells in the town center?
I'm trying to find out.
Any other agenda items?
That's why it's important to watch the park board meeting.
Next meeting date and time. Robbie, could you remind me what was the next one we set
September
up?
21st?
18th,
18th. Thank you.
10 a.m.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. So Monday, September 18th, 10 a.m. Okay. Then I would call the meeting for today adjourned at 10:39 a.m. Thank you.
How about a vote